All right, cool. So my name is Bill Feinberg, and I'm starting a new side project. I'm calling this one LeetReel, and I'm just going to film myself solving LeetCode software technical interviewing questions, right? So let's go to the problem here. This is nothing sophisticated, so I'm just basically doing a Zoom call by myself. So you can see here, should be Zoom. Hopefully y'all can see my screen. And I'm just going to do this in Code Sandbox, right? So I'll try and see if I can create a GitHub repo to accompany it, but I'll just use the React TypeScript template. I'm not actually going to write any React code right now, but we'll see what happens. All right. So first, let's make sure our tests are working. All right. So let's start with just the first problem. That's what we're going to do today. So toSum. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is I'll make a folder for this one. Oh, let's update the name of this. Cool. Oh, there we go, LeetReel. All right, so in the source, so let's add a folder. I'll use the URL, so I'll just kind of keep it unique for now. Instead of file, whoops, created a file instead of a folder. There we go. All right, and so then inside of this, so I'll put a README inside of there. I'll just start out with a. So I'm just going to call this func.test.ts. Okay. So I'll just go copy this, paste that in there. Oh boy, what just happened? Oh, I'm also going to update some configs. Let's see here. So I will create a prettier. So I'll change this to 120. Trailing comma, I believe that's all. Cool. And dope. Oh, I accidentally closed the tab. No worries. Okay, so let's make sure this test is working. First thing I'll do is I'll update this to be, and I'll just return, actually I'll just return nan for now. Okay, describe, and so this is going to be our test cases. All right. Okay, I'm just going to go copy this whole description here. I will drop this into the README. I will delete. That's okay. I'll worry about formatting this later. Okay, so let's see here. This. So much for that's just a little bit of formatting. I even think Code Sandbox renders Markdown, but that's not a right now problem. Cool. All right, so let's add our test cases. So, all right, so returns 0, 1. Returns when okay, and so let's set up our input. So const all right, so it takes nums and a target. So nums. Oh, okay, I should have just read it, but two variables, const, there we go, const target. Okay, so const. So our actual result is going to be what happens when we call this with that. And so expected result is going to be 0 and 1. So this is just kind of some setup. All right, so then I want to expect the actual result to equal the expected result. All right, I'll drag this over here, so that way that's the default. The zoom thing is going to be in my way no matter what I do, but that's fine, right? And it receives NaN, which makes sense. All right, so now I think there's, how many other test cases do we have? Example 2, example 3. All right, so let's go add those. So I'm just going to copy this whole test, or this block right here. Just go update the variables. So it returns, and then when nums, okay. Okay, and target is 6. Okay, and let's do the third one. Yep. And what's the output? 0, 1. I haven't even really read the problem yet, so maybe I should read that first so I can start thinking about it well. So these all return. So let's see here: 0, 1, 1, 2, 0, 1, 3, 3, 6. Need to update that. Okay, so now we have our failing tests. I think I can make that go away. And I'll update my prettier config. Let's turn semicolons off. All right, and okay, so let's actually read the problem. All right, given an array of integers, num. Okay, so actually maybe I'm help. So nums and target. Nums and integer target return the indices of the two numbers such that they add up to the target. You may assume that each input would have exactly one solution, and you may not use the same element twice. Return the answer in any order, okay? All right, so we need to get to 9. So in example 1, so 2 and 7, yep, yeah, that makes sense. No other combination makes sense, yep. So 6, 3 and 2, nope, 2 and 4, yep, so on. Those ones, okay. 3 and 3, 0 and 1, okay. Constraints, I'll read it here where it's formatted. So, okay. So, okay, cool, so those are negatives, so that's probably 10 to the, yeah, 10 to the 9th power, so 10 to the 9th, 10 to the 9th, okay. Oh, there you go. Look, only one valid answer exists. It is less than 0 n squared complexity. All right, so cool. All right, so let's give this a shot. So let's see if we can solve the first one. All right, so first thing we're going to do is, so let's make sure that everything's kind of passing through correctly here. So we should see in our console, yep. I'm actually just going to do one at a time for now. I'll just throw a dot only on there. Can I clear this? There you go, clear that for now. Cool. All right, so if we save, there we go. You can see. All right, yeah, so everything's coming through correctly. So what we're going to do is, and so do they have to be consecutive, right? Or is it just, so let's go reread the problem, right? Because if we can assume they're consecutive, then maybe we can have some type of variable that we keep track of, like, hey, you know, here's index 0, does index 1 add up to it? If so, cool, return it. If not, right, given return indices of the two numbers. So here they happen to be in order, here they happen to be in order. I assume they're not always going to be in order, but it doesn't seem to say whether or not that's the case. So Another thing that we can do is, so I think what I might try for this one, I might have done this one before a long time ago, but I don't remember. I think what I might do is I might use a hash or use a map to try and keep track of which ones we've seen to know whether or not we essentially the complement of it, right? You know, so we'll kind of go through here. So we'll start out empty. So let's see. So const, let's call that a map. All right, so we'll just say const num of nums. Let's make all right, so all right, so first let's just populate the map. Map brac num equals, and then we'll just initialize this to target minus num. What is this? Oh, yeah, that's fine. I'm just gonna use bad TypeScript for now. Nums array. Oh, my TypeScript's not great. Number. There we go. What is this? Oh yeah, it can't be a string. Damn it! Why did I do this in TypeScript? Oh well. Worry about types later. This isn't a TypeScript exercise. This is really just me. I need the TypeScript practice, but that's not what I'm trying to teach here. I'm really trying to demonstrate here. So maybe I can say that for a future exercise as a refactor. Right now, we're just trying to get it passing. Let's clear that. All right, and so let's see what our map looks like. Two and seven, 7 and 2. All right, and so I guess as we go through this map, so we can, as we go through this array, we can populate the map, and then we can check to see if its complement exists. So I guess we'd need to track the index. All right, so instead of storing this as a primitive, let's store this as an object. So we'll say num, and then I guess complement, for better word. All right, let's clear this, reload to complement. Okay. Oh, and then we need to store the index. So index, let's see here. Access to the index here. Don't. Well, that's what I get. Doesn't log elements. In fact, looks like I don't want. Okay, fine. I'll just use regular for loop. For when I equals 0, I is less than nums dot length I plus plus. Const num equals nums bracket I. All right, let's clear this and refresh. So the num is 2, complement is 7, the index is 0. Okay. Maybe we should keep a pointer. I guess. Oh no, okay. I guess the complement is our pointer. All right, so and let's check to see if we have the complement. All right, so const has complement equals map Oh, let's try this. Const is ES6 shorthand equals target.num, and we can just reuse that same variable. And we'll just coerce that to a Boolean, and so this will tell us. All right, let's see here. Yep, so you can see here that we have, so true, right? So that answers the question. So now, so if has complement, then what we'll do is we want to return. All right, well, let's see what the actually, let's kind of store this whole thing in a little object. So I'm just going to call this an entry right now, just because I don't know what to call it. I don't have a better name for it. So we'll say num complement index, and then we will assign this. There we go. Oh, I'm gonna. Let's see what we have in this entry here. Let's clear this, refresh. Dope. That was a hard refresh. I just wanted to save and then, oh well. Let's check the console. Oh, and I will do that. Why don't I see? Oh, there you go. Entry. So num complement 2. So I want the index of the complement. So const index of. I think I misspelled. Oh no. Index of complement. Okay, so I think what I want to return is so the index of the complement should be earlier and I. Okay, and why am I having trouble reading this error message? 0 and 2. Let me delete some of these other console logs and get rid of that. Get rid of that. So clear our console. Const result console.log. All right, let's see what we got going on here. And I might just do this. So it's like a delimiter. There you go. Entry. Excuse me. 1 and 2. So it seems like I'm off by 1 on this one. All right, so I think I might have some. Let's see what each entry is. So here I'll already have an entry log. Let's move that. I'm gonna clear it, refresh. There's all the entries. Right. Oh, I see what I'm doing. I'm returning the value. Got it. So I want to return the complements and the index from the entry of the complement. Got it. Index of complement equals right? And that doesn't work. But if I do that, complement entry equals map. And I'm not returning it. So let's try returning it. Return result. And one failed. Why did we fail? Let's look at the problems. Parsing. I'm confused. Where is my output? I must have a syntax error. Let's try this. Seem to have broken something. I'm just going to try refreshing. I'm sure I have a syntax error. I'm not sure why. All right, I guess I need to actually read this up, I think. Let's shrink this down a little bit. Yep. 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 What did I do? All right, let's comment out everything. All right, so it's not in there. Oh, what? That makes sense. I think there's something wrong with that. Oh, I'm an idiot, I think. There we go. I'm done. Stupid curly brace. That's all right. That happens. Cool. All right, so that one passes. So let's try taking off the dot only. Which one's failing? Oh, that's what does it return? Okay, that makes sense. All right, so this seems like right. So I think this using these keys on this map won't work because you can only have one, right? So so this approach won't work, right? I mean, or it won't work for this case. So let's see what we can do to change it. So I guess what we could try is, let me think for a second, but this as we go through here. All right, so we go through and well, I guess in this particular case, it would be cheating, but if there has to be an answer and the num's length is 2, you know what, I'm gonna do that. If nums.length equals 2, then return 0, 1. Okay. All right, so let's take out the console logs. And then I'm just, so since there has to be an answer, throw new error, there must be an answer. Okay, let's do that. I don't know if this will actually, so if I just go grab this entire function body, come over here, paste it in LeetCode. I don't think they have a formatter. If I click run, oh, that's because I'm doing, why did I do TypeScript? Do I have TypeScript in here? Okay, cool. Okay, cool, that worked. And let's try submitting it. Oh yeah, looks like I've done this one about a year ago, and then, all right, so I got a wrong answer. Uh-oh, what's this? Okay, so let's add this test case, right? Target's the same, get rid of that. Okay, so in here we want 0 and 2. Oh. Okay. Yep, same problem. Okay. Yes, that's not surprising. All right, now let's see if we can come up with a way to actually, yeah. So this was a naive solution. It makes sense, like, you know, we don't have to actually go through anything, like if there has to be an answer. So I think that's okay, but I don't think that's what anybody doing this challenge would be looking for. I also am not sure how we're doing on time. I imagine we're about 30 minutes in. I don't intend to go too long on these, but let's see what happens. All right, so let's imagine we're just going to walk into this on like a whiteboard, right? So 2, so we can mark 2. So if we see 2, so I'm going to see a 7. So keep our eyes open for a 7, right? Actually, so if we're looking for a 9, we start with a 2. We're like, all right, cool. Look for a 7. All right. So then, if we see 7, we're going to see look for 2. Like, all right, cool. We got a match. All right. So if we see 11, you're like negative. What are the constraints? Do we say that they can be negative numbers? Constraints. Num's length is greater than 2. Okay. Yeah, so we do have negative numbers. Got it. So we'd want to be looking for a -4, right? So maybe instead of an object, or maybe instead of a map, right? Because you can't have duplicate keys. Maybe we can keep this kind of map approach, but we can keep track of the indexes that we see them. Right. So what if we say, let's try this. Indexes. So we'll initialize it to an array. And that's going to break our shape, which makes sense. So for now, I guess we just go with the first one, and that would get us back to okay. Tree index. Oh, that's because I'm not actually putting it in there. So if we just do that, so actually goes back to that passing solution, right? So I need to actually populate this in. So if all right, so let's try this. So if map.num already exists, otherwise we want to do that. Am I using entry anywhere else? No. Okay, so if it already exists, then we want to say map.num dot indexes dot push I. Oh, that's all it? Interesting. Oh, let's I guess let's log our map. Console.log map. Yep. That makes sense. So it starts out at 0. Wait a minute. How did that work? Oh, because these aren't in order, because they get sorted. That makes sense. Okay. That's confusing, but I'll take it. All right, so it's this one. So this is 3, 2. Huh. Okay then. Well, let's try plugging that into the thing. Run code. It's funny how you forget these kind of things. All right, so that accept. Let's submit. I'm sure, like, if this passes, I'm sure there's like way better. Cool, it worked. I wonder. Oh wow. Your runtime beats 98.71%. Cool. I wasn't even going for performance, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, memory, that doesn't surprise me. All right, well, I did it, so that's cool. Now let's try and let's see if this is working. I tried to do this earlier, but all right, and let's see if we can set Leet real. Okay, yeah, actually, I already had a repo set up for that before, and I deleted it. So it seems like maybe there's a caching problem, but that's fine. All right. Well, that's cool. It worked. I could clean it up later, but I'm happy with this for now. Maybe let's go read the last time I did this. Let's see this. I probably might have just copy pasted this one. I'm just trying to remember how I solved it previously. New map. Yep. Okay. So I used a equals 0 element complement key value. If map has complement, return. Okay, that's way simpler, but the exercise here was just to kind of solve this up. Cool. Thank y'all for watching.